It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions, and it comes your way next.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The kicker, Jake Bates, has this one on the tee. He'll run up and send this one away here at Ford Field. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
2nd and 11. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff in this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 40. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A shotgun snap for Goff. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Gone. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
In motion left goes a tight end. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Goff. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bates' kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Play action. Now it's Daniels. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
2nd and a couple. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6. To the air goes Daniels. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Throwing now is Daniels. Throwing the out route, and he's got Eckler. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. That's going to be caught by Samuel. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Robinson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Flush to, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He saw the pressure and he got out, but he never got upfield. And the defense, they took full advantage of a rookie mistake there. They were able to add a big loss on the sack.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
To throw is Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempps. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
He'll get this to Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Play action. It's Goff. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Over the middle and take it in by Laporta. And he's got this down to the 35. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Goff now looks to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Dorrance Armstrong. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
They go play action. Daniels. Oh, he stays up. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Daniels looking to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And the Commanders are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Commanders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw, Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver, that's Tim Patrick. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Goff. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Bates' kick is good, and that'll bring them back within 4. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. A final shot before break. Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Commanders got a strong first half out of their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He was able to take it in himself for the game's only touchdown. And you wonder if this coaching staff will ask him to do a bit more the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
That's to the tight end, Laporta. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 9. Goff throwing again. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Goff. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Gibbs. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3s already put through the posts.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't quite make it to the 25. First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing. if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down and 3. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Goff now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Goff now looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
To the air again, Goff. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Bates' kick is good, and they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So that is 2nd drive ending in a field goal now here in the 3rd.
Yeah, the first one got them closer, and this one gets them the lead, but I don't think they should fall in love with kicking field goals. They're going to need to put the ball in the end zone if they want to finish off this game with a win.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
And he's going to use his legs here.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So 3rd down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal.
To throw is Daniels.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. So here come the Lions now. Their defense got the stop to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 12-yard line.
They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs.
Gets through and now an opening. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 2. They'll go again with Gibbs.
Runs through the contact. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So the completion good for 7 there. and that'll make it second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Play action. It's gone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Washington on third down.
They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
They started on the ground with Eckler.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
This is 2nd and 8. Robinson, he'll try the left side.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
To the air goes Daniels.
On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down.
That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit back in possession of the football. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's Goff.
This to Laporta, right side.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. In motion, the tight end.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And a solid run down inside the 30.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he will have a Lions 1st down, and that's the one that should seal a victory.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros.
Well, that 2nd half, Charles, a little bit different from the 1st. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the 2nd half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the 2nd half, that's a surprise.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.